Hello and welcome to Pro Coding with Rahul again. Today we are going to learn about Python operators and expressions. Are you ready to learn? Let's start. The operators such as plus, minus, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, power, divide, division, and modulo, and there are bitwise XOR operators, less than, greater than. So we are going to see about all these operators in Python and expressions in today's video. So let's begin. So Python is basically the calculator that one can use directly. Like if we type any kind of number and then we add it with any other number and you just enter it, then it will produce the exact addition of that same number. Similarly, if you want to subtract any number from a number, you just give the number and then you put an enter. So it just subtracts that number. It's easy, isn't it? So let's go about with the addition operator of Python, just as we saw earlier here in the prompt. So if you want to add two numbers, for example this number, and we want to add the other number here, it could be as long as you want, and here you go. So let's see how we can multiply two numbers. To multiply the two numbers, you just have to type in the number that you want to multiply. For example, this with the multiplication asterisk and give another number, and you just enter it, and you see that the results get printed instantaneously on the shell. If you want to divide a number with other number, you just have to use the forward slash. Say for example, I want to divide 180 with 9 and I just enter it, so I'll get the results 20.0. It's simple, isn't that? So if you want to divide and round off the number, what can you use? So we use the divide and floor operator in Python, which is like this: 123 / 5. So what happened just now is it divided 123 by 5 and rounded out of the result, and the resulting answer was 24. Neat, isn't it? So let's see the modulo operator of Python. If you want to see the remainder of a division, then you use modulo operator. So what is modulo operator? For example, if we type 13 and then we type a percent sign and then we divide it by 3, and here we go, the division remainder is 1. So that is the modulo operator. Similarly, you can check this out by dividing 25 modulo say 4, and the answer is 1. So what it does is it divides 25 like with 4 6 are 24, and then there is 1 4, and then we can see that 1 is the remainder, right? Let's see how the less than works here. So if we say 5 is less than 2 and then we press enter, so it generated a false. As you can see, why it generated a false is because 5 is not less than 2. So we understand that this is supposed to be false. Similarly, if you say 6 is less than 8, then it should generate a true. Easy, isn't it? Similarly, we can check about the greater than value. Say for example, 169 is greater than 123. It should be true. Yes, it is. And 169 is greater than 234. It should be false. As simple as that. Kind of other test like greater than and equal to test, we can do it by this way. Say x equals to 5. We'll terminate this statement with a semicolon. Y equals to 10. So x is greater than or equal to y. Let's evaluate it. Before that, let me terminate the statements with a semicolon. This semicolon is essential if you're writing more than one statements in the same line. So you can see here like x is greater than or equal to y is false because y is greater than x. Similarly, we can do a less than or equal to test by saying a equals to 10, b equals to 10, a is less than or equal to b. Let's see, it says true because it evaluated both the expressions and the greater than and less than signs properly. So let's see how the equality tests are written in Python. Let's say m equals to 16, n equals to 16, and now we'll use the equality test or comparison test, like m is equal to n. We'll say true because m is equal to n is equal to 16. I'm sure you're getting this properly. So now let's do an inequality test. Say for example z or z equals to 12, y equals to 14, z is not equal to y. It says true because z is not equal to y, which is 12 and 14 respectively. So now let's go to expressions. Okay, so expressions in Python, say for example we want to find the area of a triangle, right? Area of the triangle is half base into height. So we'll do this, we'll create a new file in idle. So I go to idle and I just type in some values, say for example base equals to 20, height equals to say 15. Now what I'll type is area equals to, in brackets, base multiplied by height. Now what we have to do to use 1 by 2 is simply divided by 2. Okay, now I'll print the area, print in the bracket for Python 3 onwards, area of triangle is equal to comma area, and we'll do a save. We'll save this file like save as, and in here in works we'll just save it as test 3 or say expression test .py. It will be saved as a py file. Now let's run this file, run module F5. Area of triangle is 150. So you see it's pretty easy running all these kinds of tests and expressions and everything. Let's add perimeter to this as well. Now perimeter of a triangle is, you know the formula, perimeter is equal to all the sides, sum of all the sides. So for example we have a triangle with ABC and it will be the sum of A, B and C. So let's do this like this. Say for example side 1 equals to 10, side 2 equals to 15, side 3 equals to 20. So let's define the formula for perimeter. Perimeter equals to, in the brackets, side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3. That's the sum of all the sides, and we'll print it. Print perimeter of triangle. So this perimeter, and we'll just save this file again because it's already saved, and we'll run it with an F5. Let's see what happens. So here we go, perimeter of triangle is 45 and area of the triangle is 150. In this way you can create multiple expressions and write a lot of things with Python, which is very easy to understand. As you can see, it's just like the plain English language that we speak, and it's pretty easy to understand, correct? Okay, now let's understand the precedence of operators. This is taken from Python manual for Python 3. Operators precede exactly as we understood them in our school days as in mathematics, multiplication, division, and so on. So it's like lambda expressions are there. These are special expressions in Python which get the precedence. If else statement is the conditional expression, which we'll see in next episode. And there are boolean or and boolean and operators there which take the precedence. And then we have those addition, subtraction, and so on. This is the table that will give you the comparison, and I mean every single detail about all the operator precedence here. We use these two arrows here and this two arrows here for left and right shifts respectively. These two are for exponentiation. Okay, yeah, we can go ahead and see how exponentiation works. So in the shell, let's see exponentiation, how it works. That is simply but par. So we just say like 3 star star 4. It's 81. What it did was it multiplied this way: 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. So 3 3 is 9, 9 3 is 27, 23 is 81. So it's basically 3 raised to the power of 4. Similarly, we can find it out for any complex number. If you want to square them, something like this, we can use exponentiation in this way, and it is easy and just gives you the results instantaneously. So Python is a really handy language when it comes to mathematics, and there is a lot of external libraries that aid you with complex calculations. So you can literally calculate the GDP of America, GDP of India, GDP of other nations, or GDP of all the nations of the world. It's a very flexible language. So now let's see what Python bitwise operators are. Bitwise operators in Python are used to compare binary numbers and perform certain quick operations on them. What is the use of bitwise operators, you may ask? The bitwise operators are used in embedded programming, in low level programming, that is, we write device drivers or something, or used also in working when you're working with graphics. So here are the operators in Python, and is written in two ways, and then XOR, not or, zero fill left shift, and signed right shift. Now these basically are pushing all those zeros from the right and let the leftmost bits fall off. Similarly, the shift right by pushing copies of the leftmost bit in from the left and let the rightmost bits fall off. So let's see an example of bitwise operators. So for example, if we want to find even and odd numbers here, so if we want to find if 20 is an even or odd number, if you can say just like 20 and 1, it'll say 0. 0 means even number. And if you just want to say if it's an odd number, you can say 19 and 1. You can see it's printing 1. So this means that is even and odd. We can use bitwise operators for doing a multiplication task as well. For example, you want to multiply 24 with 2. You can just specify this operator and it will multiply it with 24 into 2, 48. Similarly, you can divide 24 by 2 using this operator, and you get the answer 12. So I'm sure you have understood the operators and expressions in Python language today. If you like the videos, please like, share and subscribe and come back for more. I'd be posting more content on this channel and keeping it updated. So let's dive in for real quick Python. Thank you.